Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Thursday, the 11th of November. And the weather, despite this morning's sunrise looking rather nice, I knew that the weather was coming in fast. And as I set out for a little bit of a photo bimble, it's already starting to drizzle. Now, we've come away from Tullymore and the leaves are falling off the trees. Yeah, I've come away from Tullymore and we're actually just in Donard Park at the moment, and we're just going to take a little bimble up the Shimna River. I get the feeling that this is going to be a mighty short vlog today with the conditions and the lack of light, but anyway, good to get out and have a bit of a dander. So let's get into the woods, hopefully not get too wet, because I also brought Nicola's rain jacket with me rather than my own. And while I have lost some weight over the last 6 months, not that much. Right, let's dander on. Goodness me, as you walk into the first bit of woodland, it just becomes, now the GoPro is not going to pick this up, but it just becomes an absolute riot of colour. Wow, absolutely beautiful. And again, this is always something that I remind myself that while Tullymore is certainly a very nice place to bimble in the autumn, there are other little pockets of woodland in and around here that can be just as nice. But that there, just walking out of Donard Park itself and into the woods, it was just a complete change of colour temperatures, as if someone did the slider to max. Wow. Anyway, let's keep dandering. So I've literally just come into the woods, and it is quite a dark, overcast morning now, and we're definitely not going to get any light, so just picking out little pockets of colour. And I always love how you get the little saplings of trees up against the sort of the darker, sort of straighter pines and things like that. So just handheld, sort of auto ISO. The image stabilisation on the X-T4 is pretty good, so you can shoot at lower shutter speeds, even at a longer focal length, and I think it keeps it reasonably stable. But yeah, just picking out little pockets of colour. Now, because we've got a little bit more of a damp conditions, it is bringing out a little bit more of the colour. And of course, that was shot without the polarizer, but we'll probably fire on the polarizer and enrich those saturations. So yeah, little handheld bonus shot as we bimble. Dander. So that rain is actually coming on pretty heavy now, but come across this little group in the trees here, big old gnarly trees, and I think there's probably an image to be had. Again, what's sort of going against us is obviously a very white blown out sky, but this is where the iPhone I find can come in quite handy, especially just sort of trying out different compositions. And I think maybe not necessarily a 16:9 crop, but a landscape sort of thinner orientation, thinner aspect ratio allows me still to get in sort of the character of the big trees, but minimise, if not completely remove, the sky. I really wish I'd brought my umbrella up though. But so I'm going to carry on, just sort of, this is what I normally do. I'll get the iPhone out, have a muck around for a little bit, take a couple of test shots. I'll then probably get the main camera out, still not the tripod, and just again play about. And then if I think there is something to be had, we'll follow up. So this was supposed to be light drizzle. You know, I sometimes think I should go, and there's the old GoPro doing it. Yeah, water rubs off the GoPro lens. Yeah, liars. I sometimes think if the whole photography thing just carries on going south from a business perspective, I'll just be a weather person, because they don't seem to have to tell the truth anytime. Light drizzle, come and stand here and give your weather report. Anyway, got the camera out for what it's worth, but keeping the front of the lens dry is impossible because idiotic me didn't bring an umbrella. But I'm kind of trying to compose something with a 16:9 kind of format, just taking in that lovely rich understudy, and of course with the polarizer that's further enhancing the saturation. But it's just very difficult conditions to be photographing in, because it just is. It's hammering down, absolutely hammering down. In fact, for the first time in a long time, I've ended up putting on the aqua shield on the old camera bag. But photography, eh? We love it really. Right, let's go back to trying to line something up here. You know, I may have to cut this one short because my forecast still says light drizzle, and it keeps saying stopping in 4 minutes. And that's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And that's me actually in below a little bit of cover. So this may be one of those cut short, which is really frustrating. Don't know why I didn't bring the umbrella, but I think it's mainly frustrating from the keeping the front of the lens dry, because no matter how much you sort of wipe it off and then you sort of have the 2-second timer, it's going to have some water droplets on it, I'm sure, even if I can't see them completely on the back of the screen right now. But that's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Who'd be a weather forecaster, eh? Turns out anyone. Apologies if you're a weather forecaster watching this going it's more complicated than it sounds, but this was spectacularly wrong this morning. Spectacularly. Oh. Guys, I think I'm going to call it. That rain is just relentless. If anything, it's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier. So I guess sometimes this happens. It's kind of one of those situations where, oh, hang on a minute. It's kind of one of those situations where, yes, I could stay out, and you know, at the end of the day, humans are waterproof, and pretty wet. Humans are waterproof, and for the most part, the camera kit's reasonably waterproof. But it just becomes a complete another nightmare to try to sort of shoot something. And this is me, say, standing in one spot for the last half an hour. So I guess you can't win them all, especially when you're doing 30 days creative, trying to get something every day. Right, well, apologies, it was a little bit shorter than normal. I'm going to now make my way back to the van, get dried off, and I hear coffee's in order. I guess until tomorrow, take care, bye bye. Oh, goodness me. Ooh.